Hi, what does Pat Riley, the great coach Pat Riley, Coach Popovich, and doctors have in common? Find out today. Hi, doctors. Doug Grant here. Welcome to another podcast. We're so excited to work with you as holistic professional success people and our podcast. We're excited today to talk about a subject that seems a little bit weird, but I think you'll understand because I really worked hard to think, what can I do to create a story to help you understand the importance of this subject today, because it's critical for your success in your clinic. So let's get started. There's some great coaches out there in the world today in different sports, but one of them that is known throughout, especially the NBA and a lot of times throughout the world, is a great coach, Pat Riley. And here's a picture of Coach Riley, to where I was with him when I wrote my first book way back in the day, and I want him to sign it, but then he said, "Well, you sign it." I'm like, "You're Pat Riley. You don't want me to sign your book." But anyways, it was funny. But Pat Riley, I had the chance to be able to see him work, and it was amazing what he was able to accomplish. I mean, the man was, NBA Coach of the Year 3 times in a row. Coached most of the greats. He had 3 or 4 NBA titles under his belt. Just a phenomenal person, and then went on to manage other teams, and just known as one of the gurus of the game. And then Coach Popovich, who was the most winningest coach in the entire history of the NBA, 4 NBA titles, Coaches of the Year, just the list goes on and on. So these aren't just 2 coaches in professional sports, or 2 of the greatest ever, and I had a great opportunity to work with them. I worked as a nutritionist for Coach Popovich's team, the San Antonio Spurs, for years and years. And then when Coach Riley went to oversee the Heat, I was a nutritionist for the Heat. And it was really great to see these men work. And so what in the world did they have to do with the success of health professionals? Well, let me just share with you, really what they have to do is that they have something that's really important that you all need to have in your clinics. And the reason you need to have them in your clinics is because the winds of change are happening. In other words, the whole environment within clinics in 2020 is different than it was in 2019 and all the years past. And it's going to be very serious as to how you go forward with your patients, whether you're a chiropractor, a naturopath, massage therapist, a professional trainer, whatever it might be. What you do right now moving forward is going to greatly impact, or how you do things right now moving forward is going to greatly impact the results you get from your patients and your clients, and how you attract people, and how you grow your business. And so the winds of change, with whether you call it the recession or COVID or whatever, the fact is things have changed, and we need to realize that. And there's a quote, that one of my favorite quotes, from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said that our chief want in life is someone to help us do what we can. And that's what you are as a holistic health professional. And so the key is, and here it is you must show confidence to give the patient peace of mind and trust. And the reason is that there's a lot of mistrust out there today. This is a graph from just jobs, and showing the tremendous increase in jobs that have been lost. And so because of that, people that trusted where they worked and everything else, and they lost that trust. And because of that and many other factors, it's critical that you have the trust of your patient or your client. And if you're a chiropractor, the tough news is that in this Gallup poll, they had a problem. The chiropractors didn't have as much trust from the patients as even medical doctors or engineers or dentists. And one of the reasons is because many chiropractors, trainers, naturopaths, that group, they don't give across that energy and excitement and that confidence as to what their patients should be doing. And what I mean by that is, because you're trying to be holistic, I'm sure you're very confident in your main specialty. Let's say you're a chiropractor for adjustments, being able to understand subluxations and what to do to manipulate the spine. I'm sure you're confident in that. to be able to help the patient. If you're a professional trainer, your confidence is in the training part. But when it comes to the other areas, to be holistic, in the areas of nutrition, in the areas of supplementation, the areas of exercise if you're not a personal trainer, all of these areas you might not be as confident, and that comes across to the patient, and they feel that, and so they don't have as much confidence or trust in you. That's why it's critical, and if you haven't already, go back to our previous podcast. We talked about creating your mentor team, your mastermind group, to be able to create that expert group, to create the confidence. But the key here is that we need to be able to exude that confidence and be able to bring that to your patients. So, for example, with Coach Riley, one of the great things with Coach Riley is he coached a lot of players that were tough to coach. They might have been great players, but they were tough to coach. And he was able to, through systems, through be able to create a system and get people to buy into that system, he was able to create the confidence with them to, okay, I'll trust you. Versus other coaches are like, I know more than you, or I'm not sure that we should be doing that. But Coach Riley would be able to take the hard cases that had great talent and be able to mold them because he had a system that he worked over and over again. He just worked it, and he made sure that system was holistic and was balanced. But once he put it into place, boom, he was able to get phenomenal success from it. And the same held true with Dr. Popovich. At the time when I was a nutritionist in the NBA, going from different teams, working for them, I had the opportunity to see how different organizations ran, with the Phoenix Suns and the Heat and the Pistons and all these other teams. And they're all great, but the one team where the organization was ran just smooth and it was amazing was the San Antonio Spurs. And the Spurs didn't even have the best team. Sorry, but they didn't have the best team on paper in the NBA. But they won championship after championship. And it's because they had a system that they bought into, that Popovich was able to say, here's the system. I have every angle covered. Here's the professionals I brought in to cover it. We got Grant here in nutrition. We got Mike Brungart for the strength coach. We have, the phenomenal shooting coaches, and he'd bring this team in and he'd tell his players, we have the best, and here's our offense, and here's our defense, and this wins championships. And he created this to where even the areas that it wasn't his expertise, he spoke about them, and he had people that were experts in those areas come in, and he was able to create this confidence that then the patient, the player, was able to believe and trust and grow and get results and be able to achieve greatness. And so what Coach Riley and Coach Popovich did really was exactly the same thing that we want you to do, to be able to show that confidence. And so you have to create a system that reinforces a belief over and over again, and that breeds the confidence in the person. And that is a big part of it, is being able to do that. So what are you going to do that? Very simple. Again, you need to be able to be extremely confident in everything you're asking your patient or client to do. And if you're not, then you need to either search out a different mentor for that area, or if you don't have one, find one, and be able to say, just like Coach Popovich did, hey, here, we feel we have the best nutritionists in the world. We're going to tell you how to eat right and do this and so on. And I'd meet with David Robinson, and I'd meet with these different players, Avery, and talk to them about it. And they had confidence because the coach said, look, this system that we have in place is the best. And even though the coach, Popovich, wasn't the most knowledgeable in nutrition, he aligned himself with those that were. And so you need to do that same thing. Get back to the basics. Get your team together so that you can come across positive and confident to your patient. I can't express the importance of this enough. If you're going to be legendary, like the Pat Rileys, like the Popoviches and that, versus other coaches that you might not ever hear of, or ever, if you do hear them, you don't hear about them after they're done because they weren't legendary. They didn't have a system in place, and they didn't breed a culture. And that's really what needs to happen in your clinic. And we've laid out a system for you, even up to this podcast, and as we go forward, a system for you to be able to create that branding in your clinic, which is one of the most important things, especially in these times, is to be able to create that confidence. And if you go back and think about it, see if I can pull back up again that slide, the Gallup Poll that they did. Why in the world are the medical doctors so high? And well, it's because they're very confident in, we're going to do this test, this test, this test. I'm going to run a CBC panel. I'm going to do this. We're going to send you out for these x-rays. We're going to do that. And then from that, we're going to recommend this drug or we'll recommend this surgery. It's very distinct and laid out. Now, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. The point is when people are interviewed, they have that confidence. So how can you bring that into your clinic? It's by creating a system that you're confident with. And so your success tips, like we gave to over 200 doctors the other night on a webinar, is branding creates reputation. Every patient every day sets a brand standard. You go back, you decide what every patient needs, no matter what. Maybe it's because of where you live. I talked to a doctor down south the other day that said, man, we have tons of Lyme disease. I'm going to make my protocol of the foods they should eat and the nutrients they should take kind of a Lyme disease, because everyone here that comes to my office needs that. And so it's going to be every patient every day is going to be known as a doctor to go to for Lyme disease and be able to help on top of being holistic in every other aspect. So create your brand, whatever it might be, and it's very critical. And again, I'm going to refer you back to the previous podcast to be able to learn exactly how to do that. And so to this day, I have people come to me, and town manager the other day, and got diagnosed with the disease and said, I know it's about digestion, and so I wanted to come to you because I know you're the digestion guy. And so you'll get that brand, and you'll be able to work it. The Holistic Success Team, if you will email us, or just click the link below, you can ask us. We'll send you out a free Mastermind Group form that you can just fill out to be able to determine your Mastermind Group. Just kind of fun thing to do with it. But it's critical you have that team because they are going to inspire you to be more confident. And that's going to come across to the patient. Remember, let's go back and really kind of close this concept today by helping you understand the importance of this podcast, because it's a game changer. The reason some coaches are legendary is because they created a system and they created a culture for everyone to buy into that system, from the staff to the athletes. When I went to the Spurs, I bought into the system because I was just, wow, he's got it. This is the best. And I was glad to be a part of that he said, this is, that you're the best in this. But it wasn't even about that. It was about, man, I can see this system and I buy into it. So we all bought into it. And then the players bought into it. So you need to have your staff buy into your system of everything you teach, nutrition, exercise, supplementation, what you do for the mind, what you do for your specialty, whether it be acupuncture, adjustments, or whatever it might be. They need to buy into it. And once they bought into it, then you share that in great ways, in big ways with your patients, and they'll buy into it, and greatness will happen. You'll create your own world championships by having records broken all the time with more patients coming in and being able to help them and be able to even help them remotely so that you don't have to keep putting more time in and get it done. So that's the connection between the Pat Riley, the Popovich, and you as a holistic health professional. I hope you understand that. You really let it resonate on a deep level for you and be able to create the systems that are needed so that you can show that confidence that people are wanting right now, that they need, because things have changed. And then you can actually ride the wind. You can come in and you can really not just go with the winds of change and not where to go, but you can ride the wind. You can determine your destiny, and that's really the key that we want you to focus on. One quick thing, again, make sure you follow us. Click the link to subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think about today's podcast. Super important. I do want to announce that we're doing a super seminar. Doctors coming in from all over the nation, June 25th through 28th. You get continuing education credits if you're a chiropractor. We are limiting it to 100 clinics. It's here in Phoenix, Arizona, at the Arizona Grand Resort. Phenomenal place, giant water park. People are bringing their families with them. We're getting great deals, like $99 for a room. You get 4 wristbands for the kids and everyone to go to the water park, and you get certified. This seminar is for doctors that really believe in functional testing. We're going to be doing methylation testing, 6 steps to wellness. Dr. Brimhall, Dr. Harris, phenomenal doctors that really focus on the functional testing. So if you're into functional testing and that, this is a great seminar for you. If not, we'll be doing other seminars soon, doing blood work and a lot of things like that we'll keep you informed with. But again, like this podcast, this video, and let us know what you would like in the future. We appreciate you, doctors. Holistic professional success is yours. Apply the principles, have the confidence, you'll make it happen.